Hello and welcome to ET Inside, where we get you a 360-degree view of the big picture in business and economy. I'm Sridhar Ramakrishnan, and here's what we have for you on the show today. The RBI has been ringing the alarm bells on mounting bad loans of banks. So just how bad is the situation and how did banks get into this big mess? To boost income in difficult times, some banks are increasing off-balance sheet exposures. But it's a move that could come back to haunt them. Find out why. And how can Indian banks counter the dual problem of rising NPAs and risky off-balance sheet items, and what are the challenges ahead? Our top story first. Indian banks emerged largely unscathed from the global financial crisis of 2008. Even last year, banks grew the loan books by 23% with a high return on assets. But the economic slowdown is finally taking its toll on banks. Bad loans or non-performing assets are beginning to rise, and the RBI says that's a matter of concern. So just how bad is the situation? Swati D'Souza finds out.
₹1,50,000 crore. That's the amount of bad loans India's banking sector is estimated to accumulate this year alone. According to rating agency CRISIL, non-performing assets of banks or NPAs will rise to 3% by the end of March 2012 as compared to 2.3% a year ago. That's nearly 3 times what it was 3 years ago. This sharp rise in NPAs has regulator RBI worried.
They will have a meeting with about 10 large banks to discuss the NPA situation and see what measures have to be taken by the banks, if any by the Reserve Bank, by the state governments, by the central government, to ensure that the profitability and the viability of a banking system is intact.
According to the Reserve Bank's Financial Stability Report released in December last year, the gross non-performing asset ratio of banks has increased from 2.3% in March 2011 to 2.8% by the end of September last year. And on a year-on-year basis, by September last year, banks had seen NPAs rise by 30.5%. According to a report released by rating agency Moody's in November last year, the quality of non-performing loans of banks will further deteriorate over the next 12 to 18 months.
Given the fact that projects are delayed, and especially on power you have issues with linkages as also issues of overdues of SEBs, the banking sector in general could be looking at some stress where assets are not going to come on stream on time or all linkages won't be in place. So we may need structural levers to ensure that those are debottlenecked and we don't really get into a large number of NPAs.
We have seen in the recent past a slight increase in the overall NPL levels. I think it was more than expected that it would happen. So therefore, going forward, my expectation is that asset quality could be still under stress. There could be a slight increase as far as the overall delinquencies are concerned.
According to the RBI, there are 2 major causes for the recent rise in NPAs. The first is a shift from manual recognition of non-performing loans to a mandatory system-based mechanism that helps banks detect non-performing loans faster. The other reason is quite obvious. The slowdown in economic growth coupled with high interest rate regime has taken a toll on corporate borrowings. Delinquencies have been on the rise. According to the RBI, the priority sector including agriculture and SMEs accounted for the largest NPAs, followed by retail, real estate and infrastructure.
There are certain accounts as well as some sectors which due to the 2008 impact itself, they were not able to properly come out of that. And that time also we had a restructured particularly at a shorter end. So currently some of them are not able to have a proper liquidity. So that's where in some sectors you find there are cases for CDR or for some of the deep restructuring. And that's where the asset quality certainly slightly it is higher than the normalcy.
The RBI's concern is that NPAs in priority sector and infrastructure are growing faster than outstanding credit growth. Bank loans to these sectors have grown from 4.7 lakh crore rupees last year to over 5.6 lakh crore rupees this year. And the central bank is concerned that continued lending to infrastructure sector may lead to a severe asset liability mismatch, especially if the economy continues to slow down.
I think the stress is very much visible. You can't deny that the stress is not visible, but it's a question of stress management. I think on the power sector, all the banks are definitely open to do the proper stress management activity. And per se, I don't think that anybody is going to really take the big hits on the books as the NPL.
According to rating agency Moody's, one of the biggest reasons for the rise in NPAs is the fact that Indian banks have high loan concentrations because they are allowed to lend up to 15% of capital to a single corporate and up to 40% to the same conglomerate. If a corporate or a conglomerate belongs to the infrastructure sector, then the banks can lend up to 20% of capital to a single corporate or 50% to a single conglomerate. With most banks operating near these limits, there is a high chance of their being exposed to risks in the event of a default. But not everyone buys that argument.
The whole world is looking at the quality of assets of the banking sector. I think two things are happening. One, the whole set of issues and worries which are there are just getting over-exaggerated. And the second is that while there could be some issues related to micro issues, that is related to specific companies, I think those issues are then being viewed as macro issues and, saying that the entire sector is under a problem.
It may seem like an exaggeration as of now, but the truth is the banking sector is more vulnerable than it ever was in the past decade. According to the RBI's Financial Stability Report, the banking sector's share of credit to high-risk industries has grown to 22% by September last year.
Infrastructure, exposure to SEBs and aviation, while they're clearly not NPLs, and especially in the infrastructure sector, most of them remain standard assets as of now with very low levels of NPLs. But our sense is that a lot of those will go into restructuring, which would demand not only higher provisioning from the restructuring perspective, but what we hope to see is that banks adequately providing for some of these assets to reflect the riskiness.
But higher provisioning for NPAs and high-risk assets has led to a capital crunch. And now most banks are in severe need of capital infusion. While the government has stepped in and proposed to infuse 15 to 16,000 crore rupees in 15 public sector banks, it's the small and medium banks in the private sector that will find it tough to raise money. According to Moody's, bank loan growth will fall from 21% in financial year 2011 to 16 to 18% in financial year 2012 and 13, and that will push banks' Tier 1 capitals to below 9%, suggesting a persistent need for capital. And rating agency CRISIL is of the view that the introduction of the Basel III norms could add to the problem in a big way.
In our expectation, maybe about 2,50,000 crores is the kind of number that we were sort of looking at in terms of what could be required by the banking system in terms of capital requirements. So that is something that's going to be a challenge, because let us not forget that in this period you're also going to have credit growth, so it's not going to be a static balance sheet. So it is going to be an issue.
Banks realize that and have made capital raising plans accordingly.
We will probably raise capital in the fiscal year 2012-13. Our target is to raise about $350 to $400 million towards the second half of the fiscal year. We do have some headroom for hybrid capital, which we will be tapping over the next couple of quarters.
The good news is that rising NPAs have so far not taken a toll on profitability. That's because loan recoveries have been good and interest rates have been rising. But that's not to say that this will last forever. Experts expect high-risk assets to start taking a toll on profitability of banks this year. And that's the bad news.
Shrinking profit margins is forcing banks to look at off-balance sheet items. But that may be a bad idea. We'll tell you why after the short break. Don't go away.